Greetings, travelers. POV, you're the best FF14 mechanic. Oh my god, that just reminded me of something last night, chat. So I was like in bed checking out some Final Fantasy 14 streams. I was like, I wonder if anyone's streaming tea. And then I saw this one streamer, Rin something. His name is Rin. He was streaming it and they were doing tea. And he was like helping someone clear, I think. And he asked them, hey, what are your thoughts on Mario Kart instead of Limit Cut, which is a mechanic in the Ultimate? And then someone goes, fuck Mario Kart. Limit Cut's the way to go. And then later he tells his friends on the call, yeah, so I created the Mario Kart. And it was like the funniest thing. I can't believe I tuned in. I tuned in when that happened. Also, while he was telling a story, and there's one part in T. Alexander where it freezes for a second and goes doot, doot, doot. Like it like everything goes quiet and everyone, like all your characters freeze. So he was telling a story and he knew precisely when that part was coming, and then he just stops and he goes. He was role-playing. He stopped his story and then he continued when that part was done. Oh, it was great. It was great. If I wasn't on mobile, I would have clipped it just to show you guys. It was amazing. All right, let's watch Miss Chafin's video. Anonymous, thank you so much for cheering 200 bits. Thank you. I appreciate it. Rin has over 100 T clears. Good. I believe it. That guy's crazy. Really good streamer. It does a lot of ultimates, a lot of savages. Kind of like Xenos also. They're hardcore.
Greetings, travelers. I love Limit Cut. I love it so much that I fall asleep to the thought of it and wake up with my fist clenched and white knuckles, because it makes me feel so good. People say that you ruin your friendships by playing Mario Party. Maybe if everyone is a fucking pussy. Take your friends into Eric of Alexia Ultimate and run Limit Cut. Watch as your relationship goes from full green bar to full red bar in about 3 pulls. I would like to personally thank this mechanic for making me realize that my love is conditional. It's a good thing that vanilla is an octuple legend. Do not fear, as I am here to help ruin your friendships even faster by giving you a glimmer of hope about the mechanic. It can be solved. With about 100 attempts from a group that is completely fresh. If you manage to clear it faster than that, give yourself a big pat on the back for being on the downhill of the bell curve. But remember, your clear still isn't real unless you get 100 parse. Step 1, kill living liquid. It's only a 2-minute long fight.
You don't need to get crazy parses in ultimates. It's kind of ridiculous to do parses in ultimates. Like I thought I thought also to myself, like, why not get some parses? When I didn't have my right equipment, okay, because you can get like a BIS for ultimates, which is different to the BIS of savages. I was using my savage BIS for Uwu, and it gave me like a green parse, and I was like, all right, fine, this is fine. And then ever since then, I've been getting gray, because like maybe there's like a death in there. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna get my BIS for Uwu. I get my BIS for Uwu, and now it's like so hard to get a clear again because our static is not really a static anymore. Yeah, gray parses are clears. I agree. But I think the best time to ever even attempt for parses for ultimates is if you're trying to like actually clear it, because everyone tries like really hard to get that clear. And then the moment like you've cleared it already and a couple of weeks go by and you try and do it again, people are just like, we've cleared this already. We don't need it. There's not really, what's the word? Like, people aren't really trying so hard anymore. They're like more relaxed about it. And so I'm like, what? It was so funny because once I got my Uwu bis, like, I feel like we haven't really cleared Uwu anymore. It's just like the funniest thing. Anyway, I don't know why I talked about that. I think I was like, oh yeah, because he mentioned parses. That's right. But yeah, you don't need to parse ultimates. I kind of just like, whatever, I don't care anymore. Just try to get your BIS when you're learning an ultimate, because I think that's the best chance you have for parsing it high at the very beginning.
fight, it can't possibly be that bad. Now, what does limit cut actually do? Nobody knows, except for everybody. Closed caption will appear directly behind number 1, exactly in the direction that they are facing. Exactly in the direction that you are.
Closed caption? Closed caption? He means cruise chaser for the CC. Yeah.
Whenever the snap.
So when this cruise chaser appears, the odd numbers at the front and then the even numbers at the back. And I've learned the hard way also that you have to be behind. If you're the even number here standing behind cruise, you have to be behind him. No, you cannot be under him. You cannot be in front of him, because that will, what cruise chaser does is he does a big cleave in front of him, and then he dashes. After the big cleave, he dashes to the person. He'll dash into Makai Reaper. You'll see that in a second.
Snapshot decides to occur. It is very consistent.
Oh.
CC will do a cleave with a small pushback and then dash directly through number 2. And then just repeat that for numbers 3 and 4 and so on. Except if you are an even number and you don't look directly at Cum Chaser, you're going to get sent to the Shadow Realm, also known as New Zealand. But you know what? All of these ragdoll mechanics can be prevented with knockback immunity.
Okay, in our group we say you're gonna get sent back to Brazil, okay? Like, okay, New Zealand's definitely out there. That's funny. Yeah, we use arm's length just to, you know, make sure we really don't get pushed. But if someone else fucks up, it could also, like, just screw the whole party too. New Zealand of all places, yeah. I'm half New Zealander.
Limit cut by itself is pretty easy to deal with. The problem is that the entire arena is listening to a Vanga Boys concert, with 2 booms chasing each other clockwise at opposite ends of the arena, with the middle occasionally exploding for good measure. To make things even more thrilling, these explosions can spawn on any cardinal or intercardinal to make it ever so slightly random. There are 2 popular ways to solve this mechanic. The 1-2-5-6 strat, which splits up the party onto 2 sides of the arena, and the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe strat, where you put everyone on the same side.
Yeah, so there's 2 strats to go through this section, this mechanic in T Ultimate. And for the most part, I've seen most of Party Finder do 1-2-5-6, which is the one where people split. So 1-2-5-6, if that's your number, you go to the basically northwest kind of area, and if you're 3-4-7-8, you go to the east south area. You're trying to look at the explosions. It's kind of like if you ever played P3S and how they do the explosion. It's the split the room kind of thing. It's like that, yeah. And then there's the other thing that people do is the Mario Kart, where the whole group goes together. And I've never done Mario Kart, but I just know that, like, it's considered easier. But I would say it's easier if everyone's on voice call together. And that way you can, like, coordinate, like, who goes where, like, once you're in that little group together. But yeah, I want to learn both, honestly, because, like, so many people do both. But if PF is doing 1-2-5-6, then that I think is the most important, especially if you're going to be jumping on PF a lot. I know some people, like, I've asked some people to help me play T. I was like, hey, you want to play T? They're like, are you doing 1-2-5-6 or are you doing Mario Kart? And I'm like, we're doing 1-2-5-6 because that's PF. And then they're like, nope, I only do Mario Kart. And it's like, oh, like, it's really like some people have very strict rules. Like, they're only gonna do it if it's Mario Kart. And some people, like, yeah, it's just the way it is, I guess.
I would say that both strategies are difficult for different reasons. Mario Kart requires you to be a bit more precise with your placement of limit cut, while 1-2-5-6 requires you to be able to tell the difference between north and south. So Mario Kart is easier. Thankfully,
did he zoom in on someone who messed up there? Nah, they got it right. They got it right. 3 and 4. 3, 4, and 7 and 8. Yeah, I thought he was going because someone fucked it up.
Mario Kart is easier. Thankfully, this video will only contain how to do 1-2-5-6 because Mario Kart really went downhill after Double Dash. Step 1 again. Kill Pepsi Man. The circle that you see marked in the middle of the arena is safe, and you want to be there before the sea bear shows up. But you will want to be able to...
The sea bear? Wait. Dude, this is so cool to watch this video because I'm doing T right now. I wouldn't understand really much if I wasn't doing it. Yeah, there's a couple of mechanics in this game, and you're gonna hear people say Mario Kart, and that's it basically means you're just running around, like running around the arena with your party. That's Mario Kart. Because there's a Mario Kart and Ooh also for Titan part.
The circle that you see marked in the middle of the arena is safe, and you want to be there before the sea bear shows up.
The sea bear. What was that? The sea bear.
But you will want to be able to read your number easily. So standing ever so slightly outside of the safety circle and immediately walking right in as you see your number is not a bad technique. Another strategy is to jump in place in the center to try to see your number more easily. I would say, find something that works for you. Always remember that blue numbers are odd and red numbers are even. So if you see a blue number and think it's a 6, it is most certainly not a 6. If you are colorblind, get...
So yeah, 6 goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like 2 little triangles. And then 7 is a 4 and a 3.
Fucked. Now I'm going to put some random XML on the screen over here and link it in the description that has nothing to do with cheat codes whatsoever. It is absolutely not meant to be used on a text-to-speech feature for a certain program to just tell you your number without having to look at it. I don't use third-party tools, and I think you're clear.
Oh, he's talking about Cactbot. Okay, yeah. Some people use Cactbot here so that the number, so that you know your number easier. Because I think it tells you instead of you trying to like jump around and figure it out. I don't have Cactbot.
It is lame if you do use them, but I want you to know something right now. You don't need my blessing or Yoshi P's approval to get an ultimate totem. I am the real fool though, because by not cheating, my progression is very slow, nor is my gameplay any better. Oh, sorry, I just went a little off track there. Once you know your number, you should probably orient your camera north-ish, but a little to the west so that you can see if there's an explosion there. To help
That's to help. I used to face directly at A, but now I look right here where the one marker is for them, because that's exactly where the whole split is. Oh my god, this is the perfect time for me to show you my chart that I drew. Okay? Because everyone was just not on the same page. And I was like, okay, like I need to figure out what the fuck everyone's doing wrong here. I made this on Paint. So there's 4 possible explosion patterns. And like this is why we all stand here in the center and I look directly over here because that's where the split is. And if you see an explosion on your left here, you know you're 1, 2, 5, 6. And you see an explosion on your right here, that's for 3, 4, 7, 8. And like sometimes people will be in the wrong position, and then that's why I put like the numbers on each explosion. And they're like, well, it was explosion 4, so therefore it was 1, 2, 5, 6. That should have been north. Now we can actually catch the people who are messing up, and like showing them this graph, and making them understand it better. Because like I after making this graph, I had a couple of friends say, "Thank you so much for making that graph because it's helping some of the people in my party do limit cut better." I was like, yay!
To help ease this pain, our group has a marker on west and a marker on northeast. If the explosion is on, or anywhere in between those markers, that is for 1, 2, 5, 6. If you have a different number, you're going to be chasing the other explosion and you need to turn around or simply walk backwards if you have the legacy camera setting. Since we generally split up the group north side and south side, east and west explosions is the edge case where your entire party will delete their last remaining brain cell. It is probably better to just reset due to bad RNG, although that is going to send you all the way back to Jagdolls, so I would just recommend learning it. You do not have to move as soon as the first explosion goes off. You can wait for the second one because the center is safe until it's not on the 5th explosion.
You know Rin, the streamer I was talking about, I've seen him go to the other, like the wrong side. And then he's like, don't worry, I got this. And he goes to the right side after like the timing of the explosion. If you're that good, you can change. I'm not that good yet. So I just got to get it right.
The safe spot while chasing the booms is always in the back half of where the explosion just was. You see this little black line on the ground? That dictates where the safe spot ends. Now I could tell you that you have the whole wedge to work with for your safe spot. I could also say that limit cut resolves around the same time as the 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th explosion in the order that you would expect it to. I could also tell you that our group tanks limit cut on the inside track, but like a decision in a Nuki-Gay, it doesn't matter if you do it inside or outside. In fact, I am telling you these things. What people should tell you is that number 1 and number 2 are the most important part to making the 1-2-5-6 strat work. This is because as number 1, you want to be as deep into the safe zone right after the 3rd explosion as you possibly can be before you get hit by limit cut. That way, number 2 can stand as far back as possible in the 3rd safe zone and not have C2 dash in a completely stupid direction. You only have to be about halfway into the safe zone at a minimum for it to work. Being any further does make it a little bit easier though. You will often see people sprint if they are number 1, but as a warning, if you sprint early, you will have to stop yourself for a little bit right before the first 2 explosions. A good old little stutter step technique because you will be going too fast. However, never turn yourself around, ever, because you will cleave the entire planet, and me personally. I love pain, so don't make me happy. For everyone who isn't
Oh my god,
part
it
of
makes me
limit
wonder,
cut in
is
that
he
moment,
doing
you want to
tea
stand
right
roughly
now?
parallel to where Cruise Chaser appears. I say roughly because you might want to pay attention to where the cleave is going if it isn't angled where you expect it to be. You might want to use your eyes and have your monitor plugged in and switch to the on state. Please walk into the cleave as soon as you see the visual for it go off, because the dash part of this mechanic has a hitbox that is almost as big as your mother, and it catches a lot of people off guard if you
I
aren't
will
super
show you
close
some
to the edge
examples
of
of
the
my
arena,
T-Proc
or you don't
since I
move into the cleave quick
took
enough.
clips of
Please
it.
wait to move in if you are an even number for
all
limit
of
cut so that the dash doesn't go
memes
straight
like this.
forward and murder everybody on your side of the arena. With 1 and 2 out of the way, you might think that I have to explain everything else in the exact same
Blah,
amount
blah,
of
blah, blah,
detail,
blah,
but
blah.
all the
Does
other
this guy
numbers
ever
are
stop
extremely
talking?
similar, just at different times and a lot less stressful. You want to be able to count to 4 for the explosions, because after the 4th boom, you need to hold for a second as the center explodes and then watch the explosions continue from there. For limit cut 3 and 4, this makes it incredibly easy, as all you have to do is count to 4, stand right next to the line for the safe spot as number 3, and then a bit behind them as number 4. There is quite literally zero pressure to be fast because the middle explosion makes this nice and casual. After the center explodes, everyone just keeps walking. We have 1 and 2 move to the outside ring and 5 and 6 move to the inside ring, but once again, this doesn't actually matter if everyone knows where limit cut is planned to be tanked. The part that makes the rest of this nicer is that the explosions behind you aren't going as far because the mechanic is ending. This means as long as you move exactly 2 safe slices forward, you cannot possibly get hit by the Hawk Blasters behind you. This means that limit cut 5 and 6, while they do still have to be a little on point, can kind of casually stroll into position without worry of being too slow if you're number 6, because the Hawk Blaster probably won't catch you. And 7 and 8 happen right as the mechanic is ending, and you'll see that our group tanked the limit cut for those on the outside ring of the arena, just so that 3 and 4 can join the party in the middle a little bit sooner. Also so they can get completely out of the way of the mechanic much faster. But as I said before, it doesn't matter where you tank the limit cut as long as every party member is on the same page. And that's it. That's my unhelpful guide, because you want to know how I actually learned how to do limit cut. By watching point of view videos of the mechanic for about an hour before bed every single night. That way I could run the memory over and over in my brain while cradling my waifu to give me the strength to keep going. But what happens if someone dies before they resolve their number? I love limit cut. Now let's get out there and die to J.
Everyone dies. That's crazy. Like, I'm glad he made a video like that. The tree's burning. The tree's burning in the end. Misshapen's voice is just really good that you can listen to him talk about anything. He can ramble about everything, and it's like, you're like, yeah, haha, like you're just there taking notes. Got it. Yeah, it's cool that he made a video about this, especially since I'm going through tea right now. It's hell. Like, especially when I play on Party Finder, it's all LL memes, which is living liquid memes, the first phase, and then there's also limit cut memes, which is the second phase right after LL. Just like, there's always like people dying and stuff like that.